Hey guys, welcome back to the third and final installment of the Commander 2013 versus Precon videos. I'm joined with Glenn Jones. Thanks for being here with us. And I'll be playing Mindseas again. You may have seen that 2 weeks ago where I beat Jesse Snyder. But Glenn Jones will be playing Evasive Maneuvers, the Bant come into play, blink, tricky kind of deck. So you want to take a look. We'll see some of the cool, interesting cards we got here. So here's the General. The General is Derevi, Imperial Tactician. It's finally a legendary bird wizard. We've been waiting for that for a while. He's a 2/3 flyer, and when he comes into play or when a creature you control deals damage to a player, you can tap or untap something. So that's pretty tricky. Like, you can do all kinds of shenanigans, untap your land, like untap your Mimic Vat, untap whatever, tap their guy, do some lots of weird things. But the other weird thing about him is you can pay 1 Bant, 1 4 mana, and 3 other mana, just put him from the command zone into play. So he will always cost 4 mana no matter how many times you've cast him, and he's uncounterable.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite part about him is he's basically a general Pestermite, but he's Pestermite on demand too. He has like the best form of Flash, although I guess it's kind of weird because he can get stuck by like Revoker or Pithing Needle, right? Which could be really awkward.
Yeah, I guess, that stuff works even though it's from the command zone. So we saw how Allura had an ability when he was in the command zone you can't interact with, and now here's an activated ability from the command zone that they can't stop really, except for outside of very extraneous circumstances.
Yeah, Design Space.
Design Space, yeah, the command zone lets you do tons of wacky things. So that's your laser shooting bird General. You actually finally have Avon Brigadier and Kangi can be used in the same deck to a good extent. The lieutenant of the deck is Rune of the Hidden Realm. Commander is very big on come into play abilities. There are tons of creatures that come into play, do value, and then linger around. There are certain cards that flicker them. Some people will be playing flicker decks with Miss Meadow Witch or Otherworldly Journey or other flicker effects. But there's been no legendary general that could do that until now. So we have a 4/4 Vigilance Trample for 5. He can get it in there. He can brawl. But 2, tap him, exile another creature. At the end of the turn, it comes back. This is pretty. I think this is pretty big news for Commander players.
Yeah, it's a really nice one, especially considering the popularity of creatures like you said, like Muldrifter and Woodfall Primus, all those kinds of guys. Like now you can play a Bant deck that just starts with this kind of a general and is all in on those effects and can make it pretty fun.
Yep, you get tons of value over and over and make the game pretty annoying for your opponent. But if that's what you want, then I know that's what you're into.
Yeah, that's definitely my speed. So
okay, so those are 2 generals. As we see here, the land Opal Palace was in all 5. As we've explained multiple times before, in the mid to late game, it lets your commander still be a little bigger to get in there more. It's kind of odd that it's with Derevi because most of the time you're just activating his ability for him to come in. But it's still there in case you want to. I used actually as a mana fixer earlier on when I just had all of one color. But if you're making your own commander deck, generally you're not running it with Guild Gates and Karoo. Sometimes you've got a little healthier mana base. But it's still there for you.
Yeah, a little Shimmering Grotto action.
Grotto, yeah.
Never hurt anybody.
Never hurt anybody.
Never hurt anybody.
Yep. All right, so we take a look at the other cards. Here we have Curse of Predation. As we've explained before, they brought back a cycle of 5 curses from Innistrad. This, I believe, Glenn Jones agrees, it is the best curse.
By a lot.
Yeah, the other ones, you get a zombie or gain life or tap something. This one anthems your guys every turn. Every single one of your creatures.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. Also, as we explained before, Darksteel Mutation, a hiddenly powerful pacifism in the commander format, and they can't recast your general, they can't cast Wrath the God to kill it, and he just sits out there as a big old bug.
Plus, you can make lots of bug jokes, Bugging out. Does this
out.
bug you?
little it little bugs me a little bit. So there's that one. We have Restore, the Graveyard Farseek. It's probably not going to ramp you in turn 2. You don't have much of a graveyard, and it would probably be better used in a graveyard deck, such as Mimeoplasm or Dami or something like that. But Design Space, still connect the dots, combine 2 cards.
Yeah, I think that card will be really popular among some of the more like spikier commander people. Like once you start getting into like Strip Mine Wasteland fights, then we might have some interesting games with it.
Or if you like, you can Entomb for your Dark Depths or Thespian Stage.
Oh, that sounds like something I would be interested in.
Yeah. So there's that one. Here we have, I think, the best named card in the whole set, Djinn of Infinite Deceits.
It's the worst name. It should have been Switcheroo Djinn.
Switcheroo Djinn?
Switcheroo Djinn.
I don't know about that, but it's a 2/7 flyer for 6 that you tap him and you can exchange 2 non-legendary creatures. So what does that mean exactly for Commander?
It means you get to Switcheroo with a 2/7.
The 2/7 that you can block.
Yeah, so, the fact that it can't steal generals is kind of relevant.
Yeah, like
in a big way.
Yeah, anybody that plays the general that gains control of legendary creatures, like that's pretty annoying to play against. I forget her name. She's a aquatic girl, but this one can, if somebody has like an Avengers in the car before the trigger on the stack or something, you're like, it's one of those that guy cards that can stop somebody from bullying the table around and give him like a 2/2 or.
Yeah, you're talking about like Empress Galena.
That's the one. Yep. Yeah, so they're not too fun of that, but this is a good guy that's trying to even the table out, get your politicking going on.
Or you could just play him with Empress Galena. Now you've got all your bases covered.
Sure. And that's exactly the people we're trying to stop, is people like you. Okay, so next we have Tempt with Glory, the white tempting offer card. This one is 6 mana, the most expensive of all the tempting cards, and you put a counter on all your guys, and everybody else can. And for everyone else who does, you get a counter.
Yeah, I feel like if someone's playing Tempt with Glory, then the offer is probably not going to be very tempting.
Yeah.
If they've decided to invest the 6 mana in the first place.
The other ones are like Rampant Growth, get back a creature, clone a creature. This one is very token oriented.
Yeah.
And there aren't a whole lot of other token decks.
Oh, you've got like 5 guys? No, I'm good. You can
good.
just one counter, please.
Yeah, so 6 mana for a counter, a little steep, but if you would like some glory, we've got it for you. And here we have the card of this set that was featured in top 4 of a Legacy Open, I believe, a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Unexpectedly Ansett. It's a white X instant, very important card, that you put a non-permanent on top, Azorius Charm style, but for every more mana you pay, it goes down 1 more deeper. So it answers everything.
Yeah, it's a pretty handy solution to a lot of various problems. People think it might actually see some play in like Legacy because it can answer any permanent that doesn't have Hexproof or Shroud, obviously. Yeah. And I see it as kind of like a decent hedge card, you know. And in the Commander format, however, it gets a lot more powerful because anything that can target anything gets like way better in Commander. Like Oblivion Ring is much better in Commander than it is in a lot of other formats. And it's very good in those formats too.
And an instant spin Oblivion Ring is even better in Commander when people don't see it coming, and you can just Time Walk them or Gack something or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty good. I guess in Legacy, you got Miracles. You can make X like 10 or something. What are they going to do? they can't counter with their counterbalance.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
So stop it. So that's probably the most Legacy-oriented card in the set. And we take a look over these 3. We have Angel Finality. It's a Restoration Angel without Flash. And instead of blinking something, you exile all cards from someone's graveyard.
I meant Restoration Angel. This is no Restoration,
no Restoration Angel. No?
No, it is an interesting graveyard hate card. It's a pretty efficient beater at 4 mana, 3/4 flyer. And if people like Angels, like obviously that's a pretty popular creature type in Commander, this will make a fine addition to any squad of Angels that you're playing.
So say like someone's playing a Kaalia deck, and you want some graveyard hate, because every Commander deck needs some graveyard hate. Yeah. This covers all your bases.
It's also a decent creature to tutor for because it operates in a different level than, like, say, Scavenging Ooze or something like that, since it's a trigger. Yeah. So if you were going to do something like Court of Calling or whatever, you can actually Angel Finality pretty effectively.
Probably a little better than, like, Loaming Shaman.
Yeah.
Like for these decks. Yeah. So that's a good creature.
Loaming Shaman.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have not played that card. All right, and here we have the spikiest of all the cards, Azami, Lady of Scrolls. They included her in this one. I'm a little confused because she is part of the target-acquired commanders that if someone's playing Azami, Zur, Vendilion Clique, something's up. They're not there to have a good time for everybody.
But it's so fun. You get your Derevi and your Azami. It's all that's just fun and games. There's nothing shady going on here.
No, you're just drawing 4 or 5+ cards a turn, and you know.
That's it.
That's it. So she's in there. If you want to play with her, she's probably arguably a stronger commander than Derevi, but she's mono blue, and mono blue commander just no fun.
Well, it's no fun for one person.
It's never fun for me. Yeah, I don't have fun with that. So she's there if you want to read some books. Finally, we have Surveyor's Scope, an artifact, sort of Rampant Growth. It's a 2-mana artifact that you can tap it and you exile it, which is interesting. But you get to Rampant Growth where X is the number of opponents you have, only if those opponents have 2 more lands than you. So commanders often decide if someone's like land, Rampant Growth, land, Oracle Modiah, blah, 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 blah. You have a million lands. You only have 2 lands. This one kind of lets you play catch-up for 2 mana.
Yeah, it's definitely a card built for multiplayer games. It's not what you're going to be playing pretty much ever, unless you're really, really hurting in a 2-player format. But it is mana fixing, and it is an artifact, so you can play it in a lot of different stuff.
It is a mana ramp in colors like blue and black.
It's also by far the wordiest Rampant Growth variant I've ever seen.
There's a lot. These cards are very flavorful, and they have a lot to do with your multiplayers or like sweet abilities or your commanders. But there's a lot of words to explain all that.
Yeah.
You know. But
we read it twice. We figured it out.
Yeah, it only took us twice after we'd read it 3 times before that. But yeah, so those are the cards with that. We'll be battling Evasive Maneuvers versus Mind Seize, and we'll see who reigns supreme in this commander face-off.
Derevi.